Hi folks, it's Jeff C again here, Tuesday, June the 4th. Came to talk to you today about something, wow, it's pretty awful. It's Epicyte. In 2001, scientists at the Epicyte Biolab in San Diego created the ultimate GM crop, contraceptive corn, after researchers discovered a rare class of human antibodies that attack the sperm. By isolating the genes, excuse me, that regulate the manufacture of these antibodies, and by putting them in corn plants, the company has created horticultural factories that make contraceptives. Announcing his success at a press conference, the president of Epicyte, Mitch Hine, pointed to his GMO corn plants and announced, "We have a hothouse filled with corn plants that make anti-sperm antibodies." Shortly after 2001, Epicyte press release, all discussions of the breakthrough vanished. The company itself was taken over in 2004 by Biolex, and nothing more was heard in any media about the development of the spermicidal corn. Did it go underground? Are your taco shells safe? What about your cornmeal, your cornflakes? Is the killer cereal already turning up on our breakfast tables? This is a fucking horribly serious question. So I'm going to show this video here where this is discussed.
For one example of many. In 2001, a small California biotech company called Epicyte patented a product, patented a gene, which causes both men and women who eat it, in the form of any product, to produce antibodies to sperm. If the men eat the Epicyte gene, they produce antibodies to their own sperm, rendering them irreversibly sterile. If women eat the Epicyte gene, when they have intercourse, their bodies produce antibodies to the sperm that has been deposited, and they become infertile through the destruction of the sperm. Now, DuPont and Monsanto formed a joint venture, purchased the Epicyte firm, and, quote, commercialized the Epicyte gene. Do you want to know if the food that you're eating contains the Epicyte gene? Sure you do. How about the food that your children are eating, or your grandchildren? Sure you do. But the FDA, the Fraud and Death Administration, has made sure that under current laws, it is illegal for you to have that information.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dark, eh? The truth, when you finally chase it down, is almost always far worse than your darkest visions and fears. This show has gone on to great lengths about Monsanto, trying to alert the world about what Monsanto is doing. Monsanto is so evil that President Vladimir Putin of Russia has even threatened the United States with war over the loss of all the honeybees due directly to Monsanto and its crops. So I covered the other day the story about the wheat, the unapproved GMO wheat that was found growing in Oregon, and could this be this Epicyte gene, and have people been eating this corn that will basically make you completely infertile? Here's from a blog here. The wheat field in Oregon that was found to be contaminated with unapproved GMO wheat gene is a clear warning. Monsanto test growing this particular wheat 8 years ago, and the entire U.S. Wheat crop may have been contaminated. Epicyte corn was being test grown 12 years ago. So how far has that gene spread? Clearly, the Epicyte gene was developed as a population control device. But if that gene has escaped into the wild in the same manner as the experimental wheat did, then we are looking at a potential extinction level event. So I guess the big question then remains is whether or not this type of corn. I mean, it's got to be tested. We got to find out. I don't even know what to say. It's getting to the point where you go to the grocery store and you have no fucking clue what to buy, right? I mean, do you even trust the organic stuff, right? How do you know? How do you know? What? Because it says on the box? How do we know? It's probably the most important thing that human beings know what they're eating, and it's probably the most important thing that human beings are eating real food and not food that is genetically modified, which is shown to be absolutely catastrophic. You know, Monsanto is the most evil corporation that has ever existed. That is without a shadow of a doubt. And Bill Gates, who is the largest shareholder of Monsanto, his major goal in life is to depopulate the planet. And this is the same with the Rockefellers. It's the same with the Kissingers and all the top guys, the Ted Turners. They say it over and over again. You can look on YouTube, depopulation. They are the worst criminals possibly in world history right now. If this stuff is going on and this stuff is spreading around and people are becoming infertile from eating this GMO corn and whatever else they're becoming, cancer, sick, ADD, all these disorders, that the autism, all this stuff, it's the fucking food. All right, let's not kid ourselves. It's the food. This is what's doing it. And Monsanto simply must be stopped any way possible. Monsanto must be stopped. They must be stopped. And, whatever anybody can do to stop Monsanto, I'm for it. Because this is the most evil fucking corporation in the world. And they're going to destroy humanity if we let them get any further than they've gotten. Let's really try to get this message out, and let's contact anybody you know that works for Monsanto and tell them to quit. Tell them that, working for the most evil corporation in the world makes them complicit with whatever they produce. Go and protest in front of Monsanto buildings. Do anything against Monsanto. Anything you can. Anything. Aside from killing people. Which is what they're going to do on whole scale. Alright? Because there's a time when humanity must stand up. If we find out 5-10 years down the road that, it's basically Children of Men, the movie there with Clive Owen, where nobody's making babies anymore. Except the ultra elite, right? Imagine what kind of horror show would play out then. And at that point in time, will we be so disarmed and so sedated with all the pharmaceuticals and all the chemicals that they're putting in the foods to addict us and make us sick, make us stupid, and make us die? Are we going to be so weak that we can't even stand up to it? We need to stand now. That's why I covered Monsanto March this year and called it the most important march, or one of the most important protests in human history. So please let people know what Monsanto is doing. And if you want to know more about Monsanto, please check out some of our other videos that are up. I've got a great deal of videos up on Monsanto, and I urge people to watch, understand, spread, tell everyone you know. Watch The World According to Monsanto. Watch the great documentaries that are up there as well. This is evil. It's so evil. It's almost incomprehensible. It's out of science fiction novel evil. It's unprecedented in human history that we have a corporation that is literally threatening humanity as we know it, and that's why Vladimir Putin threatened war over Monsanto. Okay, they know what's going on. You think the Russians are dumb? They know what the fuck's going on. They got their teams of scientists. They ban this shit, right? And all the crazy stuff that goes on in Russia, at least they're not fucking their people with their food, as far as we know. And I think it says a lot when leaders have the courage to call a spade and come out and say, look, you are Obama, you are supporting the most evil corporation in the world. Bill Gates, you are a motherfucker, right? You and your fucking vaccinations and your fucking GMO. You're going to be revealed, you motherfucker. You are going to be revealed, just like all these other scumbags that are behind this sinister, sinister plot. It is beyond evil, okay? It is beyond evil. When they start fucking with our food to make us die, to make us not be able to have babies, to make us get cancers and make your kids get all kinds of terrible diseases that will destroy their lives, give them no chance at having a normal life. How awful is that? That's fucking Monsanto for you, right? That's the FDA, right? That's what they are doing to us. This is the most evil sort of sinister plot possibly in world history, right? It is so evil to go after people and never give them a chance to understand what you are doing to them. I don't even know what to say anymore. It sucks the life out of you when you read about Monsanto and how it's in all our foods, right? It's almost impossible to avoid because they put it in it's in the soybeans, it's in the corn. So it's in 90% of the soybeans, 75% of the corn, pretty much all the corn, all the soy. And corn and soy are the major oils that are used for so many different types of foods. And GMO corn sugar is in almost everything that kids have, from breakfast cereals to bread to cakes to cookies to fucking Coca-Colas. These motherfucking corporations, the Bilderbergs, their depopulation scheme, it's the darkest thing in the world. It's the darkest thing in the world. It really is. And it has to be torn down violently if needed, but quickly. Monsanto simply must be stopped.